until after these potential investors see what he does between now and the time they finally make up their mind, because they're still on a wait and see basis. He hasn't done much this 100 days.
Yeah.
And as you can see, we are having a lot of problems. His leadership style is now under question, especially in the wake of the wedding scandal.
But going back to the United Nations, wasn't this a creation of the American president to address the ASEAN? Which is why not all the heads of states from the ASEAN went out there. Which I find peculiar, because traditionally you were the one who pointed this out to me some 1 month ago, that traditionally, not that it is required, but the new president should visit, after all, the areas that you have closer partnerships to, which is supposedly the ASEAN.
Yeah.
Anong nangyari? Hindi natuloy. Somebody bungled up. It's quite obvious. It's the Secretary of Foreign Affairs. Command responsibility eh.
Yeah.
Hindi natuloy sa Thailand, hindi natuloy sa Indonesia. So hindi na natin nakita yung mga talagang aliado natin. Tapos pumunta pa ng Amerika at the beck and call of the US president. And then of course going to the UN, where basically the Filipinos were the only ones in the room. As you saw the picture right there, that's courtesy of the YouTube. But yet, what we hear from mainstream media, everyone's ecstatic and goo and gaga about all that he's done in America. And you're saying no. You're saying, mali. He should have even gone instead, you're saying, to the European meeting because of real business.
Yes.
Why? Why they're not America?
Why? What do you mean?
Why Noynoy should go to the European meeting more? Or not even? He's not yet even ready. Neither.
But to begin with, I said he shouldn't go abroad at this time, period.
Hindi pa pwede. Pero
Siya na rin may sabi, low priority ang foreign travel. Of course, they try to justify it later on by saying that he's brought home some bacon, That bacon is still being cooked up,
Okay, the 25 million in comparison to all the multiple trips, that it goes back all the way from Ramos' side. Ramos was a real jet setter. And so was GMA. But GMA was, lumaban sa media, lumabas talaga na bulgar talaga sa media. Ang paggagastos, 150, 175 million per trip. Here we have how many? They said on broadcast print and mainstream media, 50 or 52 people that went along. Half were basically the PSG. And then he had his protocol officers and whatnot.
The media.
It was all media almost. Almost 25 to 30 people. I don't understand.
They're businessmen, 33 of them.
Well, the businessmen is
iba pa yun.
And they paid their own.
Iba pa yun sa 50 yung businessmen over and above that. So, I found that peculiar na tama nga. Kailangan ba ng visiting president pag bumabiyahe ganong karaming security? Kasi baka naman ma-assassinate ka sa ibang bansa. Hindi naman. Baka naman kailangan.
Huwag ka kumain ng hotdog sa bangketa.
Huwag ka lalabas ng ganyan. Ayun. So, ganun ang naging problema. No, but he did show prudence to a certain extent in contrast to the spending of GMA, taking a commercial flight.
Oh, yeah.
Diba? There's some prudence there. Staying at Sofitel, not at the Waldorf, Astoria.
Well, there is merit in trying to say we spent only so little and brought home so much. But you see...
But that was a rational at the end of the day, as Ambassador says it. Ang masama pa doon, hindi pa luto.
Hindi, kaya nga. But that is falling into a trap. Because that is not necessarily the truth, like we said. What we're supposed to do is to equate exactly what's the long term and the short term of all this, what you call bacon that one brings home. See, it's not the fact that you have, let's say, 90%. You spend only 10% of the total amount that you bring in, and you're bringing in 90%. What is that? Is that on a long range, on a short range, on what interest? How do we equate the national interests against the amount of money?
Hindi, baka naman spin masters na yan trying to go after the fact kasi tapos na yung trip, andiyan na nangyari. The thing is, tama ba ginawa niya? Did he make sense? Did people listen to him? Did people shake their hand? Is the Philippines really open for business? Do they accept his new presidency? Obviously, yes, because it's the popular will of the Filipinos. The problem is, Did he do well center stage, especially at the UN, with his presentations and his advocacies of trying to open up the Philippines that, hey, we're no longer what we were. But even doing that, you don't do that. You don't launder yourself in the UN that, hey, the past president's not good, I am. I mean, really. You don't do that. Di ba tama?
Well, frankly, what I see is this. Whatever you claim, if you go there for the first time, let's say in the case of Noynoy, whatever he claimed to be, or he will be, is still going to be vetted by these people who listen and say, okay, so you say you are a nation, do you follow the rule of law? You see, that's one. Are your courts dependable? Can we depend on our investments getting in there? Can we trust you? That is still going to be proven. You see, it's not a matter of
hindi
selling.
siya luto. Pumunta siya doon, hindi pa luto.
Well, sabi ng Coke, it's the done deal. But you know, that Coke deal was actually started during
So
the
many
past,
years back.
Yeah,
The
during
past
the past
administration.
Besides, Ray, Coca-Cola is a company that's been here for ages. You see, and they have a very active office here. You see, and they've been
Kumikita
monitoring.
naman ng Coca-Cola, come on, let's face it.
No.
Nagbibigay nga sila ng labor din sa atin, pero ang laking kinikita nila dito. Di ba? I mean, hawak yun ng San Miguel for the longest time. Nawala, bumalik na naman.
Binenta na San Miguel.
Oh, binenta na ulit. Bumalik na yung mga Amerikano ngayon. So that
No,
Atlanta office is running.
Yeah, but my point is this: if you are trying to get new investments, are you trying to get mining investors? If that is so, then you have to get both American, Australian, Canadian, and even European mining investors. That takes some time. You cannot just say, okay, I can do this, I'll have this for you.
So mali ang pagpunta niya.
And it doesn't have to be the president to do it. You can have a road show done by your own subalterns, you see. You know,
How's Romulo doing with this? How does he perform in this whole scenario? Because he is the Secretary for Foreign Affairs. Tama ba o sunod-sunod lang siya? He just says, yes, sir?
You know, I get the feeling that he's really out of the loop. One of the reasons I say that is when Noynoy met with Kissinger, it was Purisima who did the briefing for the press of what transpired in the meeting. That should normally be Romulo's. No? He was one of the people with Noynoy in the ASEAN-US summit meeting, which was marred by that boo-boo of the Americans
Baliktad yung
displaying the
flag
American
natin. Ano?
flag, you know.
Kala mo gera. No? Actually, it's, well, no comment. Let's go forward.
And
Yes.
they didn't even correct it, you know. Well, I wrote about it in my column that's coming out tomorrow.
Okay.
Romulo, as you and I know, is a holdover from Gloria's regime. And he has proven himself to be quite not knowledgeable in foreign affairs. How he managed to stay that long is, of course, is a wonder to many people, not just to me, especially for the DFA professionals. But you know how politics play out here. Then all of a sudden, he comes out to be Noynoy's foreign secretary as well. Although there are credible information that he wasn't really happy about retaining him. He just had to give in to some pressures from the sisters, they say, and from the Iglesia Ni Cristo. But I thought one of his platforms during his candidature was that there'll be no more patronage politics. The relatives will no longer influence decisions. It will always be based on the competence and the credibility of the cabinet members that he would choose. Oh, there are some good cabinet members that he had picked. One of them I would cite specifically is DPWH Secretary Rogelio Singson. Not only because I know him, but because I have been receiving an email from an irate citizen whose village is always underwater. You know, asked me to write about it. I said I can only write about it, but nothing will come out.